Hello and welcome to the Today's Money Masters. I'm Jean-Paul Manu. The Today's Money Masters competition comprises 3 professional investors and a novice, each provided with $500,000 to invest. The participants will invest in stocks, bonds, and collective investment schemes. They will share their strategies over a 1-year period. At the end of the period, the top portfolio manager will be declared. So let's continue with the masters on this very exciting journey. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Have you ever been interested in an IPO but didn't have the time to go in branch and submit all the documents? We've got a solution for that. With NCB Capital Markets Go IPO portal, you can submit and track your IPO application from any of your favorite devices. No need to go in branch. No need to contact a wealth advisor. No extra fees. And it's accessible to both NCB and non-NCB clients for all our offers. So no excuses. Investing is easier with Go IPO. Visit www.goipo.jncb.com or text GoIPO to 876-383-1729 and start investing today.
On today's program, we are joined by Andre Yapp from Credit Union Fund Management Company Limited. Hello, Andre.
Hi, John Paul. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Not too bad,
Good. So I've noticed, Andre, you have gained $18,000 on Sagicor so far, and this stock is the fuel in your portfolio. Do you expect more price appreciation?
Well, firstly, I'd just like to express how happy I am that the stock has actually performed so quickly into my investment cycle. Because, a lot of the times as investors, we go into a security and we don't necessarily see the returns right away. We have to wait a period of time. So we have to exercise some patience. So I'm quite happy that I am beginning to see some returns on that.
So that's the trend with securities. It takes a while generally.
Generally, okay. You won't necessarily see that explosive growth right away. So I'm quite happy that I'm seeing that right now.
Okay.
So when I think of Sagicor, this is what I consider to be one of the blue chip stocks on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Right? We're speaking of a company that has 19 consecutive years of growing profit. 19 years. So think back to 2000, 2001. Outperformed 2000, 2002 outperformed 2000, all the way up to 2018, 19 years. Now let's put that in a little bit of context. If we look on the exchange and we try to find another company that has that record, we won't find it. Think of the big boys. Think of Scotia, doesn't have that record. We think of Grace, doesn't have that record. This is 20 long years. So we're thinking of a company that has a solid foundation in terms of its performance and what it does. To put it in even greater context, let's think back to 2008, 2009, during the global financial crisis, where, the economy is not in the best of states. Things are transitioning. What was Sagicor's response to that? Let's make more money than we did last year. So, excellent company in my opinion, well run. Granted now, we're looking at it now, it's somewhat of a different animal. Has more exposure to banking, because since that time it's bought out what was RBTT, I think it was called, or RBC. Essentially, RBC's bank in Canada, their division here in Jamaica, they bought that out. So that's a part of them now, it's Sagicor Bank. The management team has changed a little bit. Before we had Mr. Biles and we had Mr. Williams running the show and essentially giving us that year after year after year profit. It's changed a little bit now. So Mr. Williams has stepped back. Mr. Biles is no longer with the company. He's the governor of the BOJ. So, he has the Cutters Association there. And we see Mr. Zaka in now as a CEO. So we're not really sure about that. But nonetheless, I'm still left with in a state of confidence regarding the company. But why is that? Why? So we look at the financial performance year to date. So year to date, 6 months into the year, this is a company that has reported increased revenue, right? About 20% or so. It's a company that's reported increased profit. Actually, I think revenue is 30% and profit is 20%. So 20% increase in profitability. And we haven't seen some of the things that they have in the pipeline come to fruition. So for example, we just saw the launch of Sagicor Select Funds. This is a company this is essentially an index fund, which is listed on the exchange, which Sagicor manages. So they're going to have more revenue coming on stream from the management of that particular fund, right? So in addition to Sagicor Select Funds, we see where they've recently announced that they have acquired Advantage General Insurance Company from NCB. Now, in the announcement, they said that Advantage General is the most profitable insurance company in Jamaica. When they add that to their books now, that should be accretive to getting essentially profitability. Accretive meaning is positive. It adds to it. It increases shareholder value. That's what I want to see. That's what investors should want to see, right? So these things haven't come on the books yet. We haven't seen them in the financial statements yet in terms of the income statement. Let's see it in the P&L. So these are things that I'm looking out in the future, and I'm saying this company has more legs to run. It's going to be more profitable. Investors are going to flock to it, and it's my hope that the price goes up more and it benefits me. So that's my view on Sagicor. So I plan to hold on to it for a little bit longer, or probably a lot longer, just to see how things plays out, because I'm very bullish on it.
Okay, so you're not so concerned about the changing of the guard affecting the upward growth. I mean, you've said over the last 19 years it's been on an upward trajectory. Now all of a sudden we have a new person heading the ship. We take that into account in Jamaica. Who's in charge? You're really not concerned about that.
Not really. I mean, Mr. Zaka came in at a period in time where he still had the stewardship of Mr. Baz there as the chairman of the board. Though Mr. Williams stepped away from the board, he was an honorary member, if memory serves me correctly.
Okay.
So he would have somewhat taken the P's and Q's, and I assume that the culture of the organization would have been passed on to him.
Okay.
Now, as a cynical person, I'm going to look at it and say, let's say he did not take on anything on board. Is it possible for him to destroy this immaculate ship in the space of 1 year in time?
Right.
Because that's how long the competition runs for.
Okay.
I'm trying to get as much as I can in 1 year in time. Can he destroy the ship in 1 year? I don't think so. I think it's smooth sailing.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope so. We'll have more with Andre Yapp right after this. Stay with us.
Have you ever been interested in an IPO but didn't have the time to go in branch and submit all the documents? We've got a solution for that. With NCB Capital Markets Go IPO portal, you can submit and track your IPO application from any of your favorite devices. No need to go in branch. No need to contact a wealth advisor. No extra fees. And it's accessible to both NCB and non-NCB clients for all our offers. So no excuses. Investing is easier with Go IPO. Visit www.goipo.jncb.com or text Go IPO to 876-383-1729 and start investing today.
The Money Masters Funds. It's all about real growth, safety and security of your assets. The Growth Fund gives higher returns for the investor more focused on growth. Money Masters Funds, providing growth and security, performance and financial peace of mind.
We are CUFMC, Credit Union Fund Management Company. Trust matters, and you can believe in our reliability.
Service.
We give impeccable attention to your needs.
Experience.
Careful and prudent are part of our DNA.
Know-how.
After 70 years working exclusively for credit unions, now we're open to all investors. CUFMC, Credit Union Fund Management Company.
How we choose to invest our time today often has a propelling effect for what we gain tomorrow. It's like investing in shares.
Mommy, is this a share?
Yes, she's right. It's similar to how shares work. Companies are publicly listed on the Jamaica stock market. These companies are divided into pieces, and these pieces are what are called shares. The owners of these shares are called shareholders.
We're talking with Andre Yapp from Credit Union Fund Management Company Limited, is giving us his thoughts on his portfolio thus far in the competition. Now, Andre, I notice you are losing the most on Jamaica Teas. Do you think it's time to cut your loss and move on, or not yet?
So that's an interesting question, because that's one that I've been asking myself for a couple of days, well, probably weeks really, to be honest. A couple of weeks now, and I still haven't arrived at a firm conclusion. It's like I'll arrive at a conclusion today, say I'm doing this, and then tomorrow I'll be like, hold on a minute, maybe you should do that. But just to give you some insight as to my thinking. So when I went into Jamaica Teas, or Jam Teas as I'll call it from time to time, I didn't really stand true to my investment philosophy. I didn't stand true to the ethos. So when I first came on, you remember I said that everything that I do, I want it to be grounded in knowledge, in research. I want to know everything about the company. When I invested in Jamaica Teas, I betrayed that philosophy in myself. And here it is, I'm paying the price right now. right? So what happened when I invested in Jamaica Teas? It was on an upward trajectory. So I did what was called a momentum trade. So the price was appreciating day after day. So it's going up, up, up. Unfortunately for me, I bought the stock when it was at its peak. Now, when you're buying in stocks and trading stocks, there's a settlement period. It's 2 days after the trade takes place that you actually take possession of the stock to be able to do anything with it. So I bought the stock for the intention of trading it. Unfortunately, immediately after I bought it, the trajectory changed. It went this way.
Okay.
And I'm stuck there waiting for 2 days to get possession of the stocks to try and mitigate against losses, but I couldn't at that period in time. So to put it in an analogy, it's like I jumped on the bandwagon. The bandwagon is going good. This team is winning. And I'm like, yes, this is my team now. I jump on the bandwagon. As soon as I jump on the bandwagon, the team just pop down. It lose it, whatless, it stay bad. It's basically Chelsea. Sorry, Chelsea fans. Right?
All right.
So it's there, it's down. But when I jumped on the bandwagon, I sprained my ankle. So I couldn't get off as fast as everybody else. So I'm struggling to get off. Okay. And by the time I get off, it's in tatters. So I'm still there though, hoping and praying that I can get back better. But the thing is, it gives you some time to somewhat analyze what you have in that period in time. Because it done gone bad and it settled off, right? So I'm analyzing and I'm thinking, is this so bad? Is this not so bad? I don't really know. I'm kind of caught between two minds with this company still. Because on one hand, I have a lot of uncertainty in the company, in regards to the company. And uncertainty is the enemy of investing. Investors like certainty. We want to know what is what. We want to know how it's going to perform. We want to have some idea of what's going to go on.
Right.
But for me, there's a lot of uncertainty, right? So when I looked at the earnings performance of the company, you see that last quarters, or for the year to date, I should say, the performance is somewhat bolstered by investment income, by trading income, right? This is a manufacturing company.
Right.
Its performance is bolstered by investment income. That's not really its core business. So there's that. So you're like, that's peculiar. And then on the other hand, there's items in the news saying that the company will essentially spin off an investment company. I believe it's called QWI, right? They'll be the investment manager of that.
Okay.
So they have some revenue stream coming there. But then you have the question is, when is this going to happen?
Right.
How is this going to impact the financials?
Right.
Yeah, they capitalize this new company in that they give essentially value or assets to the company, be it cash or securities. I don't exactly know because these are interim financials. These are quarterly financials. These are press releases. It's not necessarily the most detailed, so you don't really know. So I'm stuck in a place where I'm not really sure. So do I cut my losses and get out while getting's good? Because it's bounced a bit. So for example, tell you specifically, I bought it at around $7. It fell down as low as, let's say, $5.30, and now it's at about $6. Do I just get out at $6 while it's good, or do I hold on and hope that I can get some more gains out of it and I can at least get out even?
Right.
So caught between two minds right there.
So you're kind of waiting, holding, biding your time, but you're going to have to make a decision soon.
Very much so, very much so. Hopefully I'll make the right one this time.
All right.
You don't want two wrongs making another wrong.
Right. Well, exactly. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one, Andre.
Right.
All right. Thanks very much for today.
Thank you much.
Thanks for talking with us. Join us next week, same time, for another exciting episode of the Masters Competition as we meet with another one of the participants. Follow the pros and the one novice each week on the Masters Competition. Listen and analyze the strategies with the Masters on RJR 94 FM Thursdays at 8:45 a.m. as they challenge each other to stay ahead. And also look out for their portfolios in the Sunday Gleaner. The Masters Competition is a product of Today's Money Limited, brought to you in partnership with NCB Capital Markets Limited, Money Masters Limited, Credit Union Fund Management Company Limited, and the Jamaica Stock Exchange. I'm Jean-Paul Menu. The Masters is another fine product from Today's Money Limited.